Hello, and welcome to the New Yorkers for Parks webinar series, an opportunity for the New Yorkers for Parks staff to share tools, resources, and research with our constituents on your own time. My name is Gabriella Capo, and I am the Community Outreach Coordinator at New Yorkers for Parks. This webinar, entitled Who Represents Me? Demystifying the City Council, will provide an overview of the New York City Council as well as some of our other city officials. This webinar will last about 20 minutes. I am joined today by my colleague, Emily Walker.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Gabriella. My name is Emily Walker, and I serve as the Director of Outreach and Programs here at New Yorkers for Parks. For those of you who are new to NY4P, we are the citywide independent organization championing quality open space for all New Yorkers in all neighborhoods. NY4P believes that great parks make a great city, and we have been spreading this message for over 100 years in all 5 boroughs. We are a research and advocacy organization, and we work with key decision makers and local park advocates to do what's right for our city's open space. Some of the most important decision makers when it comes to parks are your city council members. Before we unpack the city council, let's get a broader sense of who else represents you here in New York City.
First, we have the mayor, currently Bill de Blasio. The mayor is the head of the executive branch and administers all city services and oversees the city budget, as well as all city agencies, such as NYC Parks. The mayor is limited to 2 consecutive 4-year terms. Bill de Blasio was re-elected in the fall of 2017. The mayor represents all 5 boroughs.
On the other hand, each borough has a singular representative known as the borough president. Borough presidents advise the mayor, advocate for key issues in their borough, appoint community boards, comment on the city budget, and, while they are elected, they generally serve ceremonial positions. Each borough president does have a discretionary budget to fund projects within their borough. Discretionary funding is money that they can use as they see fit, like for park programming and capital renovations. Therefore, if you are advocating for a particular park project in your community, it is beneficial to have the support of your borough president and their staff.
Next, we have the public advocate, currently Letitia James. She is the first in line to succeed the mayor and serves as a direct liaison between New Yorkers and the city government, acting as the watchdog for the electorate. As with the mayor, the public advocate represents all 5 boroughs and is elected every 4 years and may serve 2 consecutive terms.
Next, we have the comptroller, who is essentially the chief fiscal officer and chief auditing officer of New York City. Currently, this position is held by Scott Stringer. The comptroller can serve 3 consecutive 4-year terms and monitors the performances and finances of city agencies, contracts, and city debt.
On a more local level, we have our community boards. Community boards are appointed advisory groups with 59 total boards spread across the 5 boroughs. Community boards are made of up to 50 volunteer members who are appointed by the borough president, half of whom are nominated by the city council member who represents the district. While the community board members are not elected directly by New Yorkers, they do advise on land use and zoning, comment on the city budget process, and engage constituents on the development of or opposition to specific projects. They serve no official authority to make or enforce laws, however. One important way they can help advocate for park improvements, however, is to include desired park projects on what is known as the district's needs statement. This list, generated each year across all agencies, helps influence what the mayor and the city council fund in the city budget.
Finally, the group we will be looking at most closely today is the City Council. The City Council is the law-making body of New York City, with 51 members representing individual districts across the 5 boroughs. The City Council serves as a check to the mayor, monitoring city agencies, making land use decisions, approving the city budget proposed by the mayor, and proposing and passing laws. City Council members are limited to 2 consecutive 4-year terms. It's worth noting that after a 4-year respite, City Council members can serve a 3rd term if they are elected. These term limits are relatively new, and there are currently a few council members serving their 3rd consecutive term.
The head of the city council, known as the speaker, is currently Corey Johnson. The speaker of the city council sets the agenda, and all proposed legislation ultimately passes through his office. The city council is made up of 35 different committees. Each city council member is obligated to sit on at least 3 committees. The Parks and Recreation Committee, for example, is chaired by City Council member Barry Grodenchuk from District 23 in Queens, but he is also part of the committees on education, finance, general welfare, housing and buildings, and land use. Our city council members are very busy. Finally, take note that the next round of city council elections will take place in 2021.
Let's take a look at the City Council district map of New York City. Every decade, following the census, the districts are redrawn to conform to demographic changes and to ensure that the map is in compliance with what's known as the one person, one vote constitutional requirement. There are a few different ways to find out who your city council member is. One of the best ways is to visit www.mygovnyc.org or simply Google Who Represents Me, NYC. This easy-to-use website has you insert your address and then provides the names and contact information of your city, state, and federal elected officials, as well as your local community board. This is a great one-stop shop resource.
You can also visit the website of the New York City Council at www.council.nyc.gov. On the homepage, there is an option to Find Your District/member, which will allow you to insert your address or search it on a map. You will be taken to this page, which provides the district number, name, borough, party, and neighborhoods that each official represents. Now that we have identified how to determine your representative, we are going to discuss how and why to contact them. For the sake of clarity, we are going to use the New Yorkers for Parks address in Lower Manhattan as a case study to find our elected official.
Lower Manhattan is a part of City Council District 1, currently represented by Councilmember Margaret Chin. There are many ways to contact your city council members and their office to find out more information about the work they are doing. On the City Council website for each member, you are provided with contact information for the district office and the legislative office. The district office is located within the actual district itself, whereas the legislative office of all 51 members is located at 250 Broadway in Manhattan, across the street from City Hall. You will want to contact your district office with issues particular to your community, as the staff can provide constituent services in the neighborhood. The legislative office, on the other hand, is for staff more focused on policy work and legislation. Many city council members also have personal, separate websites or blogs that can provide up-to-date information concerning news in your district. Some members also offer a newsletter you can sign up for, and many are active on social media.
It's always a great opportunity and time to get to know your city council member. You can do this in a number of ways. You can write letters to their office, make phone calls, or even invite them to community events you are hosting. It is not guaranteed, of course, that each member will have time on their schedule to meet every constituent who reaches out. But New Yorkers for Parks has a few tips to increase your chances of getting some FaceTime with your city council member.
Unfortunately, it's unlikely that you can just pick up the phone and give Margaret Chin a ring. Rather, you need to be more strategic about who to contact at the office to have your voice heard. We are currently looking at the personal website of Councilmember Margaret Chin under the Contact and Staff tab. Each City Council member will have at the very least a Chief of Staff and a Scheduler or Office Manager. If you can't find their information on your council member's website, you can easily find out their information by calling the district or legislative office of your representative. These staffers are really important people to know as they have access to the council member's calendar, speaking events, and can help arrange a meeting with your community group and your council member directly.
I want to take a minute to talk about 2 other items related to your council member. First is participatory budgeting. Participatory budgeting is a democratic process in which community members directly decide how to spend part of the public budget. This process gives access to New Yorkers to the political process. City council members choose to join participatory budgeting in New York, giving at least $1 million from their discretionary budget for the community decision-making process. Currently, 27 of the 51 city council members are a part of the program. Participatory budgeting allows New Yorkers to decide where to spend our capital dollars on brick-and-mortar projects. So, if you have some projects in mind, advocate for participatory budgeting. Also, if you want to learn more about participatory budgeting and how it works, please check out our webinar entitled Introduction to Participatory Budgeting. Second are the City Council hearings. These hearings are a great opportunity to submit and read public testimony to your elected officials concerning the specific topic of the hearing. New Yorkers for Parks has a webinar entitled Going on the Record that gives you the inside scoop about how to successfully testify at a city council hearing, including everything from how to check in at the building, from what to include in your testimony, to most effectively get your point across. Be sure to check it out along with other webinars on our website at www.ny4p.org. You can also use our website to find the dates for upcoming City Council Parks Committee hearings. These dates, along with the dates for all upcoming City Council hearings, are on the City Council website at registrar.council.nyc.gov.
A few final notes about elected officials and districts here in New York City. As we now know, we are represented by elected city council members and appointed community board members. However, the areas that these two bodies represent are not identical. In other words, your city council district is different from your community board district. We admit that these distinctions can be a little confusing. At New Yorkers for Parks, we typically research and advocate on behalf of New Yorkers according to their city council districts. For example, as you can see here, our City Council district profiles look at open space allocation and demographics of the 51 City Council districts. Why did we choose the City Council districts, you might ask? For one very specific reason. Your City Council members are the officials with the money you might need to accomplish a park project. Each council member has a discretionary funding budget and legislates on issues concerning land use and rezoning in your community. In our fast-developing, growing city, your park and open space priorities are intrinsically tied to the funds and priorities of your city council member.
Thanks so much, Emily. This concludes our primer on understanding who represents us as New Yorkers and why the City Council is so important. We hope the information shared today is useful to you, and we encourage anyone interested in advocating for park improvements to reach out to their council members with their concerns. Additionally, you can view our webinar titled How Can I Improve My Park to learn more about how to effectively advocate for better park maintenance and new park projects. Finally, at New Yorkers for Parks, we believe parks and open spaces are so important that we have created a public realm Bill of Rights based on what we learn from the community members, and we use it when we're talking with local elected officials about how they can better support our public parks and open spaces. We hope you will join us in calling your local elected officials to support the parks, playgrounds, gardens, and open spaces that make your neighborhoods livable.
And finally, if you have any questions or want to learn more about how you can make a difference in your community and parks, please feel free to contact Gabriella or myself for more information. Our contact info is on the screen right here. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope you have a great day.